Hello and welcome back to another episode of Hardspace Shipbreaker. My name is Volcata, and in this episode we are going to revisit the Light Cargo Mackerel. Now this will be part 3 in the unintentional 3-part Light Cargo Mackerel miniseries, whereas in part 1 we saw how not to salvage a Light Cargo Mackerel when we set it on fire and blew it up. And in part 2, we got an opportunity kind of high up in my grades. I saw a Light Cargo Mackerel come up as a ghost ship, and I knew that I had not reviewed a ghost ship yet, and I thought it was a good opportunity because it was the ship that we were in the middle of making videos for salvaging, and it gave us the opportunity to show how empty a ghost ship is compared to its counterpart of the same hazard level. And if you watched that video, you saw it was virtually empty of all cargo. And plus, we get to go over the AI nodes and handling all of that and being, careful to make sure you get all of them and how to safely remove them from canisters. So it was a good opportunity, and I'm glad I jumped on it. But that became part 2, even though I expected part 2 to be the video we're making right now. Now, I will mention that this is not the highest grade ship that's available to me because it just doesn't want to come up in my higher grades. But it is still hazard level 9, so hopefully this will be the large version and give us the opportunity to properly see what a high-end Light Cargo Mackerel looks like. So let's hop into it and see what's in store for us. Now, another thing I'll mention is that this is in version 0.5.0. All previous videos you have seen from me were in version 0.4.1. So a new patch dropped today, which, according to the notes, added radiation. So we may run into radiation hazards, something I have not yet seen. So we might get a 2-for-1 in this episode. And if you are a new viewer and did not catch the episode where I blew up the ship, then welcome to my channel. And the reason why I mention new viewership on this particular vessel is because I believe this is the tutorial vessel. I believe they use a Light Cargo Mackerel. And which means there's a higher chance that you might be here looking,
Hey, Cutter, you want to see something special?
Uh-oh.
Take a look at that rail gate.
What is he talking about? Oh! Oh, cool!
Credits deposited.
Alright, well that was
Wow,
super neat.
what a beauty. No matter how many times I see that rail gate fire, it never ceases to amaze me. Could be you one day.
Is he suggesting I could be fired out of the railgate at some point? I never realized that was a railgate. I just thought that was a nearby station. Anyway, we were at before we got distracted, and we are going to do this in 2 shifts. Fortunately, I'm efficient enough at this that unscheduled delay there shouldn't impact our ability to complete this. But as I was saying, if you're new because you're looking, you just started this game and this was the first ship and you wanted to kind of some pointers, if you wanted some pointers, then welcome to the channel, and I hope that you find this entertaining. And I will say the things that my other viewers have heard of many times, which is that I have a ton of tethers, so I will be a little abusive with tethers. This is one of the important upgrades that you'll get in the game, is to improve the amount of tethers you have. Also, I just noticed out of the corner of my eye that that is red, and it shouldn't be. So for some reason, this antenna got turned into scrap. And I couldn't tell you why, but we'll throw it in the furnace anyway. Get a little bit out of it. Anything that is in the barge that doesn't belong in the barge will show as red. And don't be surprised if you see a little bit of red on something that goes into the barge. A lot of times they'll have a mounting bracket or something on them that belongs in the furnace or the processor, and it's just not worth the time and effort to pluck every little thing off. Sometimes it's not even possible. But I saw that was entirely red.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
So also this is going to be pressurized. At this level, everything's pressurized. And I think I forgot to mention it that
Increasing.
the earlier versions of this don't have 3 segments. So if you noticed, I took 3 sets of shielding off the side. 4 if you count the front. Oh, so there's going to be a problem. Oh, I wonder if this is the new radiation access panel. Oh, this is new. Radiation filter, okay. So we want to stay away from that. This is gonna be a little ugly. There's a lot of floating things. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find out where the reactor is. Okay, the reactor's right there. We're going to open up through the hatch up here. And what we're going to do is we're going to drag all of these floating objects close to the hatch because I want them to go up and out without banging into a bunch of stuff along the way. This isn't foolproof, but this is the best you can do to kind of mitigate. Oh no, not another... more radioactive stuff. Oh no. So according to the patch notes, if there's a disturbance on the filters, then they release radioactive clouds, and they can be excited by your cutter and all kinds of things. So we're going to learn this together, but we need to get to it because we are really behind. We're at 9 minutes left. Alright, so we're going outside. We could carry all those things through the airlock one at a time, but that would take us an entire extra shift. And we're doing this in 2 shifts, one way or another. So I'm going to pre-tether this so I don't lose it. As far as the crates go, well, they're just going to go.
Salvage destroyed.
Yeah, hard crate destroyed because it didn't make it out. That's fine. It's to be expected. The question is, did it do any damage to anything else? Those hard crates, maybe they ran into each other. Who knows? It said scrap. Alright, that one survived. Losing just 1 hard crate to a decompression event? Not bad. Let's release this guy. Grab him so I don't forget about him.
Accepted. Credits transferred.
And toss him. So we're going to follow the usual procedure of cutting the floor out and the roof. Because to be honest, we don't really know yet how to deal with these radiation filters. And we're just gonna find out the hard way. So we're gonna start by disconnecting everything from the floor. Standard procedure. We're keeping our eye out for fabric on the walls. There does not appear to be any, so that's good. That's what got us killed last time, or got it blown up. We didn't die because we got out before the before the meltdown happened. And I'm purposely aiming low. I don't want to hit anything, especially that could decompress, because the front cockpit is, yeah, still compressed. And I keep using the word compressed. I mean pressurized. If you've watched my series, you'll probably be used to me saying compressed. Oh, I'm hearing radiation. Oh, it makes me nervous. Alright. Let's get rid of these bottom plates. Oh, I guess I didn't disconnect that guy. And I couldn't get back in the room because the door was in the way, and just really was... There was just too much stuff in the way. I didn't want to move it. Alright. Send you, send all of you. Okay, that's the cargo hatch. One more. Oh, that's lovely. Alright. Wasting time being cute. Alright.
Project accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
What we need to do is get the ceiling out of the way. We're not going to drag all these out.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
But we need to disconnect everything. It'll hurt if I give him a little bit of a down pull. So that noise there was an object collision. It's just a bug. So, see, now it'll come off. Alright, now let's get rid of all these top pieces. This one's aluminum, could cut it
Got
pretty
about
easily.
5 minutes left in this ship's cutter. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Weaver out.
Still being real mindful that I'm near these radiation things. I don't want to do that because that guy is on your side of it. I'm probably going to cut that back wall, but I don't care.
Your oxygen reserves are dropping below statistically profitable levels.
That's furnace, because it's aluminum.
Processing valuable object. Credits awarded.
And I didn't get into the back
Material
to disconnect that. Alright, so let's push these guys down real quick, go get ourselves some oxygen, and decompress the cockpit.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited. Oxygen reserves are critical.
So this is why we always do the roof and the floor, then we worry about getting everything into the barge. How much quicker that is.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
Alright, pull that back door out. Whoops! I had so much momentum up that it wouldn't stop. Sometimes there it went. Sometimes the thrusters don't work when you're you will die if you go too far out here, by the way. And it was absolutely not worth going out for this, but it was a matter of principle. What was I saying? Oh, the sometimes the thrusters just don't. Like, I was on the brakes that whole time, but my thrusters weren't working while I was breaking something off, and it caused that wild collision that breached that. And it's just a weird thing. It's a weird thing, and sometimes they work, sometimes they don't when you're detaching something. And to be honest, I knew better than to be doing that while I was coming in at Mach 2, but I'm trying to make up for all the lost time from how long we took to decompress and watch the railgate and stare frighteningly at the radiation panels.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
I feel like we're under time pressure.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
All right. Decompress. There isn't typically anything floating around inside a cockpit, so that's usually fairly safe. I was hearing the Geiger counter of that radiation when I was sitting next to it.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Let's also open this up.
Airlock pressure levels increasing.
Why are they increasing?
1 minute left, Cutter. Time to start wrapping things up. Weaver out.
Oh, that's right, because when we went
Salvage
out,
secured.
it had
Account credit
decompressed the
applied.
other side. I just want this open. I just want to make sure it's not
Airlock
pressurized because
pressure
we're going to be
levels dropping.
cutting that out eventually. And we don't want pressure inside the airlock when we're going through the
Salvage
wall.
secured. Credits deposited.
I want to get this done before the end of the shift. We got 29 seconds. Don't know if we're going to make it.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Gotta be careful with those.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Alright, did it! Woohoo! Alright, so only $1 million. That's really not a impressive payday for a first shift of a mackerel. But again, we did get distracted on doing and things and just seeing stuff. Alright. So there might be a door console left in here, but I think we otherwise got everything.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
Yep, there it is. And let's grab this one too. And let's cut this window out while it's here. This might be an episode where we end up leaving the aluminum in the walls that we otherwise always cut out, because it's a thing we can do to save time. We'll definitely leave it to last, but don't be surprised if we have to leave it. I just don't know what to expect in the walls with that radiation stuff. And did we get the thruster out?
Deposit
I know we got the cap. Why did we not grab the thruster while we were here? That was silly.
Salvage secured. Account credit
All right.
applied.
If we do this from above, I'm going to be careful not to cut the wall on my left, because we are going to decompress. We're going to depressurize the walls. And we're right next to this radiation thing, but there's no other way of doing this. I mean, we can do it off the back, but there's no proper decompression. Depressurization. Okay, it looks like something already depressurized it. So if you are new to the game, your grappler would not move this. There are a couple of upgrades I have. You would have to use a tether. Normally, doing the depressurization the way I just did it, will push it out. And you don't have to do this. That's okay. You know, if you were in this situation and your grappler was not strong enough to pull it away, you just grab the front of it with a tether and pull it towards the jack. Just let it float away for, you know, a few feet and then cancel the tether. It's the simplest way.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
And I seem to remember that the early mackerel during like the tutorial. I feel like there was
Secured. Credits deposited.
a passage into the wall. I don't remember having to cut the front off. But I also may have just gone in from the back. I know when I was first kind of figuring this game out, I usually depressurized, even once we gained pressurized vessels, I usually depressurized through the back by removing the thruster cap, which worked pretty well, except for the few times where it blew up reactors. So I figured I was better off finding a better way. And
Secured.
going through the throwaway top panel has worked out better for me. Oh boy. How do I even get past this? Can I fit over this? I can't. That means I can't fit under it, so I guess we're going into the back. Oh, that's problematic, because the back's where the fuel is. Alright, well, I'm a little pre-cutting done here on what I can. Oh no, the pipe's there. Okay, so we're gonna go in the way I used to go in, and hope that nothing goes tragically wrong. Really do not prefer to go in this way.
Valuable object processed. Credits awarded.
Up, up, and away! See, we gotta get in around that fuel tank. And squeeze through here. Squeeze! No, no, no. All right. Get these guys cut off. I have in the past broken for these double nacelles, I've just broken the pipe up top. We're kind of just, I'm a little creeped out coming out the back like this. A little out of my element. Ooh, that's near that radiation filter. So I'm doing it a little bit different here. Let's see if I can get this guy to come out.
Salvage secured. Credits deposited.
All right. We are really cutting it closer on time. I guess it would help if I cut the pipe off. That worked better. Alright, I think we're clear all the way. Hopefully the radiation detector filter isn't attached to the outer wall.
Credits transferred.
Because if it's not, then this should pretty easily pull away. Well, that is if we disconnected everything. I am off my game. I'm rattled. Rattle, I tell ya. Okay. So it looks like the containment is a processor thing.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
That's not great because it's on, you know, the furnace body. And it's standard on these kinds of mackerels, we're going to pull this outwards manually. We're not going to use a tether because the bracket it's in would hold it kind of in place and we don't want it banging around.
Salvage secured.
That bracket is also a processor
Warning.
item,
Oxygen reserves are low.
which when we have time, we recover. Really feeling the time pressure on this one though.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited. Salvage gained. Rewards increasing.
We're getting low on oxygen. Really want
Oxygen
to
reserves are critical. Affordable oxygen supplies are available
clear
for
these
purchase
before I
in the
go.
Master Jack.
Five minutes, we are pushing it.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Welcome to Vintage
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
So we gotta get back to the other side of it because we know we can't get past that
Cutter, there's 5 minutes remaining in this shift. Get in while they're getting
thing.
We wrap.
Get in here and cut all this out. Okay. Get out through the window. Get this thing out of our way. Make sure it's not gonna swing into the
Salvage
furnace.
secured. Account credit applied.
Alright, so we are essentially down to what do we do with these? They do not appear to come off. Oh, that does.
Object accepted for processing. Credits deposited.
That's interesting. It's a barge item, but it doesn't detach. Cut point. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so bad. Go away. Alright, so I guess if we have the time, we'll cut that wall
Salvage
out.
secured. Credits
Because it looks like
deposited.
that whole containment unit is processor.
Valuable object processed. Credits deposited.
Under 3 minutes. Go away. Looks like the power cells are smaller than they used to be. That's interesting.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Alright, let's... We're not going to cut the aluminum out of the cockpit. So that's not cuttable. Seeing if we can destroy all these brackets around it to pull this panel
Valuable
off.
object processed. Credits awarded.
Oh, well, okay, I didn't expect that. I was just pre-tethering it so that if we broke it free, it would make a run for the hills. Okay, we got that one free. I don't know that we're going to get this other one out.
All right, Cutter. Wrap it up. You got about a minute left.
Please go, please go, please go. Thank you. And we're just going to give up that little piece right there.
Processing valuable objects. Credits awarded.
Because we don't have time to cut it out. Why are you taking so long to move? You're not that heavy.
Raw material processed. Credits deposited. Ship teardown complete. Cutter account credited.
Alright. I mean, aside from that little reactor plate, which, you know,
Object accepted for processing.
no big deal.
Deposited.
Just the amount of time we spent gawking at that rail. Alright. Excellent. So, that was a light cargo mackerel in the new update with the radiation stuff. So we figured out the radiation stuff on the first try. That's awesome. And we didn't blow it up, which is a big improvement over part one. So thank you very much for coming out. I appreciate it. If you liked it, leave a like. And if you had any questions about something I did, or feel like there was a better way of doing it, or, you know, any opinions on it, just, you know, there's a comment section down there, so feel free to leave a comment. But, you know, once again, thank you very much for coming out, and I hope to see you guys in a future episode.